Have you ever thought about why a PlayStation might cost way more in one country than another? I mean, it's the same plastic box, same buttons, same ability to ruin your sleep schedule. But suddenly, it's twice the price across a border. Well, let me introduce you to the magical world of tariffs, kind of like a cover charge for products trying to get into a country's economic nightclub. So, imagine this. You've got Bob. Bob runs a little bakery called Bob's Heavenly Buns. Yeah, Bob thinks he's hilarious. Bob bakes the best cinnamon rolls in town, and for years, people lined up to get them. Life is good. Then one day, Alice rolls into town. Alice has a bakery too. But here's the twist. Alice's bakery is across the border, where sugar and flour are dirt cheap. So she trucks in cinnamon rolls, sells them for half Bob's price, and boom! Bob's once loyal customers are now stuffing their faces with Alice's imported treats. Bob? Not smiling anymore. Now, here's where the government steps in. To help Bob, the government slaps a tariff on Alice's cinnamon rolls when they cross the border. Let's say $2 extra per bun. Suddenly, Alice's prices jump. Bob's back in the game, and everyone cheers. Well, except Alice. And, the customers. And anyone who liked affordable pastries. That's the basic idea of a tariff. It's a tax on imported goods, designed to make foreign products more expensive so local businesses can stay competitive. Sounds kinda fair, right? But here's the twist no one talks about. You, dear wallet holder, end up paying the price. Let's go back to Bob and Alice. After the $2 tariff, Alice's buns are now $6 instead of $4. Bob looks over, sees Alice's price hike, and, guess what? Raises his own price from $5 to $6. Why? Because now he can. The competition's been weakened. So instead of protecting consumers, the tariff just made everyone's morning sugar rush a little pricier. And Bob? Well, he's now rolling in dough. Pun fully intended. But it doesn't stop there. Alice, frustrated, starts cutting corners to keep prices low. Maybe she uses cheaper ingredients, or her bakery cuts jobs back home. Meanwhile, Bob's suppliers, seeing his new profits, bump up their prices. And the government? They're now collecting that $2 per bun in tariff revenue. Where does it go? Sometimes to infrastructure, sometimes to pay off national debt. And sometimes it just vanishes into the giant, mysterious money pit labeled government spending. Oh, and let's not forget the ripple effect. Bob uses ovens imported from Alice's country. Guess what? Those ovens now have tariffs too. Bob's cost of baking goes up, which means even more expensive buns. And Alice? She might retaliate. Maybe her country slaps a tariff on Bob's chocolate chips. And now everyone's just angrily taxing each other like it's a food fight at a kindergarten lunch table. Meanwhile, Bob's customers, who were supposed to be the protected ones, are staring at a $6 bun, wondering why breakfast got so complicated. Now, this doesn't just happen in the bakery world. Tariffs hit everything from cars to clothes to electronics. You know that new phone you've been saving up for? If there's a tariff on imported electronics, boom! Extra $100. That cute sweater you saw online from Europe? Add a tariff, and suddenly it's not so cute on your credit card bill. And here's the kicker. Companies rarely just eat the cost of tariffs. They pass it on to you. That's why economists often say, consumers pay the price of tariffs, which is fancy talk for, you're footing the bill, buddy. Let's zoom out a bit. Countries don't slap on tariffs for fun. There's usually a strategy behind it. Maybe the government wants to protect local industries, like Bob's Bakery. Maybe they want to punish another country's bad behavior, like, say, if Alice's country is dumping super cheap steel into the market, threatening local steel workers' jobs. So the government steps in, raises tariffs on imported steel, and hopes it'll pressure Alice's country to play fair. But here's where things get messy. The other country? Yeah, they're not just going to sit there. They'll slap tariffs on your country's goods. Suddenly, Bob's cousin, who sells tractors overseas, is getting hit with tariffs on his products. He loses business, maybe lays off workers, and the cycle keeps spiraling. It's like two kids on a playground escalating dares. One dares the other to jump in a puddle. The other dares back with a bigger puddle. And pretty soon, everyone's soaked, cold, and regretting life choices. Meanwhile, you, standing at the snack stand, just wanted an affordable cinnamon roll. Now, fast forward to what's happening between the US and China right now. The US has placed tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. Everything from electronics to toys to furniture. China? They've fired back with their own tariffs on American products, like soybeans, cars, and whiskey. So you've got two of the world's largest economies locked in what's basically an economic slap fight. Why should you care? Because those tariffs don't just hit companies, they trickle down to prices on store shelves. That $10 Bluetooth speaker? It's now $15. That cheap office chair? Add another $20. And even if you don't buy imported goods directly, you still get hit because raw materials, manufacturing equipment, and supply chains are all tangled up in this global pricing web. Picture it like this. Bob and Alice's bakery drama has now expanded into a global bakery war, where every country is tossing flour, eggs, and sugar across borders, and your grocery bill is quietly climbing in the background. And here's the wildest part. Sometimes tariffs don't even achieve what they're supposed to. See, in theory, tariffs are meant to protect local jobs and industries, but in reality, they can backfire. Let's go back to Bob. With Alice's buns now more expensive, Bob's bakery is booming. He's hiring more staff, buying fancier ovens, and maybe even expanding to new locations. But here's the plot twist. Bob's ingredients, like vanilla, cocoa, and fancy European butter, are all imported. And surprise, surprise, they've been hit with tariffs too. Suddenly, Bob's cost of doing business skyrockets. His customers, they start grumbling about $7 buns. Bob's profits shrink. He's laying off the new staff he just hired. And just when Bob thought he was the hero of this story, he's back at square one, cursing the same tariffs that were supposed to help him. But wait, it gets even messier. Let's talk about the unseen costs. Alice's country, angry about the cinnamon bun tariffs, starts taxing American products in retaliation. That hits other local businesses, like Carl's Tractor Company or Denise's whiskey distillery. Now Carl's tractors are too expensive for Alice's country to import, and Denise's whiskey sales are drying up overseas. Jobs are at risk, and the local economy takes a hit. It's like throwing a rock in a pond. You don't just splash one lily pad, you set off ripples that touch every corner. And here's where the global supply chain steps in to make things extra spicy. We live in a world where products are Frankenstein monsters stitched together from all over the planet. Take your smartphone, for example, designed in California, assembled in China, with parts from South Korea, Japan, and Germany. When tariffs hit just one of those links, the whole chain rattles. Prices go up, delivery times get longer, and companies start scrambling to move factories or find new suppliers, which, by the way, costs even more money. And you, the end consumer, get to enjoy the privilege of paying extra while the companies play musical chairs. Now let's zoom in on something most people don't realize. Tariffs don't just affect the price of imported goods. They can change what we buy and even how we live. For example, if foreign cars get slapped with tariffs, maybe you're more likely to buy a local car. That's exactly what the government hopes. But what if the local cars are worse quality, or the factories can't keep up with demand? Suddenly, you're stuck paying more for a product you didn't even want. Or let's say imported solar panels get hit with tariffs. That slows down green energy projects. Or tariffs on imported food might make local produce more popular, but also more expensive. Every tariff has this domino effect, shifting not just prices, but entire consumer habits and industries. And here's a little psychological twist for you. Even if the price of an imported product goes up by only, say, 10%, people often perceive it as a much bigger jump. There's something about seeing a price tag change because of government policy that feels worse than a regular old price hike. It's like when your favorite streaming service raises its price by $1 and suddenly you're drafting an angry tweet, even though you'll still binge watch 6 hours a night. People notice tariffs, and that makes them politically charged. Politicians, of course, love to campaign on tariffs. We're protecting American jobs. We're putting our country first. It sounds good in speeches. But behind the curtain, economists are waving red flags, pointing at price increases, supply chain headaches, and potential trade wars. So where does that leave us? Well, Bob's buns are more expensive. Alice is furious. Carl and Denise are panicking. And you? You're wondering why your cinnamon roll, whiskey, and smartphone just got a whole lot pricier. It's a mess, honestly. But here's the funny thing. Tariffs aren't new. They've been around for centuries, used in everything from ancient Roman trade routes to medieval guilds to today's global superpowers. And every generation thinks they've cracked the perfect tariff strategy until the ripple effects come crashing in. So next time you hear a news story about tariffs, just remember, behind the big words and the government press conferences, there's a Bob, an Alice, and a you, standing at the bakery counter, wallet in hand, wondering why breakfast just got so complicated. So, in conclusion, tariffs are like a tax on stuff crossing borders, meant to protect local businesses, but often hitting your wallet instead. They ripple through the economy, sometimes helping certain industries, but usually raising prices for everyday people. They can trigger trade wars, mess with supply chains, and change what we buy. And all of that ends up landing right in the lap of the consumer. In short, tariffs are the government's way of saying, "We're helping," while your bank account quietly weeps. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the world of cinnamon buns, smartphones, and international drama, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And hey, drop a comment below if you want me to break down other confusing money stuff in plain English. Thanks for hanging out with me.